What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the last regular season match this year on Full Metal Geek. This is it. This is the last match before the tournament, and it definitely directly involves the tournament. The winner of this match will take the number 16 seat in the tournament. I'm your host, the Red Ranger, Rene Villarreal Jr., RJ. So many R's, we can't even count them. Back after a long stint. Sorry, my new work schedule has me working really late nights, so I'm never usually here. But it's the weekend, so I'm here. And with me, as always, is the champ, my good friend, Robert the Hobbit Parker. Robert, how you feeling about this match, man?
I'm really interested to see how this one goes down. We have one player who's been here before but did really well in testing, an 0-2 record, unfortunately, in Jake Maringoni, but has shown that he has the knowledge. He knows what it takes to succeed in this league against the newcomer, Thomas Scully, who has had some success in fandom over a multiplex, but has never debuted here, did really well in testing as well. So yeah, the winner of this match will take on the number 1 seed in the first round of the tournament. That's a tall order, but they have to get through the other person in this match first.
Absolutely. This is one of those situations where, it's good to win, but you know exactly what you're getting yourself into after this win. So right now, is that gonna affect either their playing, or are they gonna be too focused on the fact that they have to play the number 1 contender after this? Are they gonna make sure to focus on their opponent? Is the opponent gonna get a strength? Are they gonna get a strength? Weaknesses? Is the wheel gonna be on their side? Is the second wheel gonna be on their side? We have no idea. Anything can happen. But let's just go ahead and get some quick words from them real quick. Since there's really no ranks, I guess we'll start with Jake. He's been here a little bit longer.
Jake, how you feeling about this match, man?
God. When I first played in Geek, I was like, I'm pretty confident. If I get questions that I know, then I'm definitely have a shot at beating RJ, who was my first competitor. And I didn't do as good as I hoped. And then I played Jeremy in my second match, and he's Jeremy, and round 2 kind of helped decide things. And right now, I am not as confident as I used to be. But I'm also gonna go with that. I'm using that as part of my strategy because no expectations set. I'm not focusing on any other match other than this one, and let's just see what happens. Because I'm very curious about Thomas. I've definitely seen a couple of his matches, and he's pretty good. And I know him and Boatman are a really good fandom team, so we'll see how well this goes today, and what lies ahead if I win or not.
Absolutely, man. And actually, of people with negative records, Jake has one of the highest accuracies. He just has yet to get that first win, but will he get it today, or will this man, Thomas Scully, stop him?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, so Thomas, it's your first time here on Full Metal Geek. Just like you said, you're over there in fandom, and you do really well in fandom. And most people say that sometimes Geek is a different monster. It's actually less categories, though. So, do you think the less categories, are you more confident because of that, or are you a little bit more scared because they might be deeper than what you're used to over there at fandom?
I'm more confident because, over in multiplex, you got categories like Rocky, Fast and Furious, Disney Animation, DreamWorks Animation, categories that I'm not as strong in. But when it comes down to the Star Wars, the Wizarding World, the MCU, the DCEU, all those categories I love and I'm really good at. So I'm a little bit even more confident going into this one. A lot of the categories I'm really comfortable with. So we'll see what happens.
And, of course, as we do now with the managers, as much as, I do it, whatever. Brooklyn, you got 30 seconds. Go for it.
Massive spoiler alert to a match that drops at the same day today. Caleb Boatman and Thomas Scully joined the new British Empire. Very excited to have Thomas and Caleb join the team. Very fitting that Thomas's first match of Full Metal Geek is against the first person that I ever competed against in Jake Maringoni. Hopefully that match goes a little bit better for us. I got fucking knocked out in that match. Thomas is a rising prospect in the Geek fan leagues, and I think his stock will only go up.
Absolutely, and we'll find out exactly how that happens. Brooklyn, I'm going to have you leave, and if you ever need to say words, we'll bring you back into the stream. But for now, let's hop right into it. I'm going to try to just zoom through these first round 1 rules because I have been practicing saying them real quick. So your round 1 works like this. You're going to get 10 questions from 10 predetermined categories. Correct answers with a point. You're going to write it down, say it, and show your answer at the exact same time. You have 3 repeats and challenge you throughout the course of the match. If you get a perfect 10 in round 1, you will be awarded a bonus question worth an additional 1 point. And I think I got it all there.
I still think I'm faster than you, but good job.
That's probably true.
All right, gentlemen. Jake, are you ready?
Jason Bourne.
All right, Thomas, are you ready?
Let's do this.
All right, I will go ahead and hit with the first question. Gentlemen, your first category is the category of Marvel. Marvel outside of the MCU. In Men in Black International, who plays Agent High T, the head of the UK branch? I've not seen this movie. Man.
I liked it better than most people.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. It may be worth watching. I usually wait for it to come to HBO or something when I finally decide to see it.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please.
All right, we'll go ahead and start with Jake Maringoni.
Liam Neeson.
And Thomas.
Liam Neeson.
Both correct. That's 1 point for each.
Nice job, guys. Your next one's in the category Star Trek. Which Enterprise crew member is kidnapped by a probe from the cloud in Star Trek: The Motion Picture? Jake,
I wish I could vote to get rid of this category, but I know I can't because I know I'd lose because let's be honest, like I know it can't go anywhere.
5,
But I'd do so much better if it was gone.
3, 2, 1. Most people would. Pens down.
All right, let's go to Thomas this time.
Spock.
And Jake,
That lady that I can't remember her name.
That is correct.
you're closer. You're close.
We were looking
You pronounce it,
specifically-
Robert.
It is Ilea, Lieutenant Ilea.
Yeah, because who doesn't remember that, guys? Come on, guys. Lieutenant Alea. All right, your next category, gentlemen, is in the on the other side of the galaxy in the category of Star Wars. Star Wars. We're not trekking anymore. We're just going to fight. What planet do Han and crew steal raw coaxium from in Solo: A Star Wars Story? Robert, did I say that right?
You did. You killed it there. Nice job.
Yeah! I used to sell coaxial cable, so I finally remembered it when I looked at it.
Yeah, no, that was,
I know how to
spot
pronounce
on.
that.
5, 4, or if you will, Spock on. 3, 2,
Ah.
1. Pens down.
All right, back to Jake.
That was terrible.
I got nothing.
All right, and Thomas.
Blanked.
Guys,
We were looking for Kessel. There's
Kessel.
the
There's the
run.
Kessel run.
There's the Kessel run.
I was going to have Kessel. Damn.
That's all right, guys.
I apologize for that. There's cats running around doing crazy things.
You're good. We'll see if you can get another point on this time in the category of Middle Earth. How many Middle Earth films feature the character Bolg? First, having to remember which character that is. That's half the battle.
Right? so many new characters introduced in the
There's
Hobbits
5,
that you're just
4, 3, 2. That doesn't give anything away. 1. Pens down.
oh my bad.
Thomas first.
3.
That is incorrect. Jake?
2.
It is 2. It's Desolation of
I apologize for
Smaug.
that, Robert. I thought you said the
You're
Hobbit
good.
film.
No, you're good, man. No worries. It was 2.
So
Desolation
Jake
and
got
Battle
the
of
point for
Five
that one, and Thomas did not. Just to
Correct.
clarify for everyone.
Yep.
All right, it is now 2-1 as we get into halfway mark at question number 5. It is the category the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which apparently Spider-Man is no longer a part of, but we'll get to that later. What is Fury's full name? We want the first, middle, and last. And I need the full of the middle, not an initial. Just putting it out there.
Yep.
And someone looks like they're not happy with that.
Sorry, not sorry. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down.
All right, back to Jake.
Nicholas Johnson Fury.
That's actually incorrect. Thomas.
Nicholas Joseph Fury.
That is
Tyburn.
correct.
That is correct. 2-2. Your next question, guys, is in the category of DC. These are DC movies. Who plays Selena, a power-hungry witch, in 1984's Supergirl?
Hey, Robert, you'd be surprised that I know the correct answer to this.
Yeah, this is one where to the common folk, common movie watcher on the street, they're obviously not going to know this, but for some geeky guys like this, I wouldn't put it past them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's go to Thomas.
Kim Cattrall.
That is a good guess, but it's incorrect.
And Jake.
She announced La La Land as the Best Picture winner. Faye Dunaway.
Yes, she did, and that is correct. It is Faye Dunaway.
I was also incorrect. I thought it was Lloyd the Moose. Sorry, I
Mm.
thought it was Lloyd the Moose.
Mm.
That is my
A
fault.
common misconception.
Common misconception. All right, gentlemen, your next category is in mixed bag. Mixed bag. What is the name of the sequel to the comic book film The Mask?
Both players furiously going to the board on this one. I think they both know it.
Right? Once again, like you said, like
5,
normal person probably wouldn't know.
3,
Geeky people like us,
2,
we remember that train wreck.
1. Pens down, please. And I believe we're going to Jake first.
Son of the Mask.
That's
Thomas?
correct. And Thomas.
Son of the Mask.
Nice job. I'm going to show you guys your next questions in the category of directors, composers. Just a few left here. Who composed the scores for the following films? Snowpiercer, 2004's Hellboy, 2015's Fantastic Four, and The Wolverine.
Good thing about one of these questions is hopefully you know one. And that's
Yeah,
all you need.
I only had 3 movies in there to begin with, and then I thought that was just a little bit too hard. So I decided to throw another one in there.
Doesn't seem to be helping.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
Jake can use his first repeat. Your question again. Who composed the scores for the following films? Snowpiercer, 2004's Hellboy, 2015's Fantastic Four, and The Wolverine.
Robert, we may have to go back, but I think you pulled a me and forgot to tell them that they do have 3 repeats in one challenge.
No, I think I did.
Did you? I don't remember.
Played this game
Then
long
again, I
enough.
never remembered to say.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down.
All right, to Thomas.
Christoph Beck.
That is a great guess.
All right, and Jake.
Can't believe it took me a while. Marco Beltrami.
That is correct.
That is correct.
Also did Logan.
All right, gentlemen, your penultimate question is in the category of heroes and villains. The characters G.Q. Edwards, Dexter Tolliver, and Officer Griggs appear in what worlds of DC film?
1 out of 7 shot? 6?
Yeah,
I think 7 at this point.
I only saw Aquaman, by the way.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Fun fact. I liked it.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. What do we got?
Jake,
I just said Shazam.
That is incorrect.
correct. And Thomas,
Suicide Squad.
that is correct.
Big point there. Big point. That is correct. All right. And your final question here in this round in the category of Wizarding World. Who plays Percival Graves, the Auror revealed to be Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? I believe Thomas was done before I finished reading the question.
Yeah, you know,
5, 4,
if you know it, you know it.
2, 1. Let's see what we got.
All right, Thomas
Colin Farrell.
and Jake,
Colin Farrell.
That is
both correct.
Nice job, guys. We have a 6-5 game as we go into round 2. But of course, anything can happen in round 2. It is our first wheel round. All right. Am I right on the score there, RJ? Right.
Yes, I also have 65.
Okay, perfect. So, this is, of course, the full wheel round. So I'm going to bring up a wheel. I'm going to share my screen. The person in the lead, in this case, Jake, is going to choose to go first or second. Then who's ever up the wheel is going to get their chance to spin it. If they don't like the category, they can respin, but they do have to stick with the second option. Of course, it's not to their liking. Then you're going to get 5 questions worth 2 points apiece from that category. You can check your multiple choice if you don't know the answer. It will devalue the point down to 1. And, of course, there is stealing in this round. So, Jake, let me read your categories and also screen share, which is more difficult on StreamYard. This one. All right, can you see
And
this
this is
wheel?
why I do it on my phone
This
when I'm in
is
charge of the wheel.
round 2 wheel. Of course, the wheel this time brought to us by E-Trade. So, Jake, your categories are Wizarding World, Directors, Composers, Quotes, Mixed Bag, DC, MCU, Marvel, and Worlds of DC. And then, of course, Heroes and Villains pick. Based on those categories, would you like to spin first or second?
I'll let Scully go first.
All right, Jake's going to go first. Your spin is in. And it lands on Mixed Bag.
I let Thomas go first. I deferred.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry, my bad.
That's just.
No, I thought you went first. My bad.
That's
All
all
right,
right.
Thomas, your first spin is mixed bag. What would you like?
Doesn't affect the spin. Still mixed bag.
Let me stop sharing for 1 second so I can bring Brooklyn in.
Yeah, so you can discuss with your manager.
Brooklyn. Sorry, there we go. So your first spin is mixed bag.
Yeah, Brooklyn, I think I want to spin again here.
Brooklyn, we cannot hear
Probably
you,
need to
but I assume
unmute
that's on
yourself.
your end, not
I'm
on
pretty
mine.
sure he agrees. He makes that face of agreeing.
Yeah, he was agree.
Yeah, let's spin again.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, spin again.
Sorry about that, guys. All right. Your spin, your second one is then you will have to stick with directors, composers.
All right.
It'll be very interesting.
All right. Goodbye, Brooklyn. Thank you for joining us. And I will read Thomas's questions in the category of directors, composers. All right, here we go. What Marvel film was directed by Ruben Fleischer?
Venom.
That is correct for 2 points. All right. Oops. Okay. Correct for 2 points. And your second question in directors, composers. What MCU composer has a composing credit on Blade Trinity alongside the rapper RZA?
I think I know.
Gonna need an answer in
Multiple
5.
choice.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, Patrick Doyle, B, Ramin Djawadi, C, John Debney, or D, Mark Mothersbaugh.
B.
B is correct for 1 point. All right. Your next question, what comic book writer directed The Spirit?
Multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, Alan Moore, B, Todd McFarlane, C, Mark Miller, or D, Frank Miller.
B.
That is unfortunately incorrect. Your options again, Jake, are A, Alan Moore, B, Todd McFarlane, C, Mark Miller, or D, Frank Miller.
Frank Miller.
That is correct for 1 point. 1 point steal there. All right, 2 more questions left for you, Thomas. How many Wizarding World films have been composed by Nicholas Hooper?
2.
That is correct for 2 points. And your final question. Who directed Star Trek Generations?
Oh, okay. David Carson.
That is correct for another 2 points. Wow.
Very.
Absolutely. At the end of that round, bringing your subtotal up to 12 points, I believe.
Yeah, this is about to get very interesting. As we know, this is one of Jake's very good strengths, and he just took it off the board for Jake, who probably could have done just as good. So now what happens is Jake's going to have to prove that he knows everything else, or Thomas is going to take advantage.
Absolutely. Jake currently sitting at 7 points with that steal to Thomas's 12, a 5-point deficit for Jake as we go into Jake's spin at the round 2 wheel.
You know, once we get it up.
There we go.
Get ready for
Lots
lots
of quick. Marvel. These are Marvel movies outside of the MCU.
I'll take it.
He will take it.
All right. Let me just pull up that category real quick. All right, Jake, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Your first question in the category of Marvel. What was the first Marvel film to feature a cameo by Stan Lee?
I should
X-Men.
specify. Yeah,
That is correct for 2 points.
I was going to hop in and say theatrically released because there were some TV movies, but you jumped ahead of me there.
No problem. All right. Your next question. What is the only one of the vampire weaknesses that the Reapers from Blade 2 are not immune to?
Sunlight.
That's correct for another 2 big points.
Pulls
Blade 2
within one.
superior over the first Blade.
Retweet.
Your next question. X-Men The Last Stand opens with Charles and Eric visiting what young mutant?
Jean Grey.
Correct for another 2 points.
For the lead, 13-12.
Your fourth question. In Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, who plays Monroe, an alcoholic French priest?
Idris Elba.
Wow.
Another 2 big points. And your final question. In The Amazing Spider-Man, Peter stops Flash from bullying a kid by calling Flash by his real name. What is Flash's real first name?
I'd like to go in for the perfect round, but I'll go multiple choice.
No problem. Your multiple choice options are A, Arnold, B, Oliver, C, Eugene, or D, Alex.
Is it Eugene?
That is correct for 1 point.
Huge round two there
Big
by
round
Jake.
for Jake.
Massive round for Jake. Making the score 16-12, putting Thomas in a
Yep.
4-point deficit. That is huge. All right.
Not impossible to come back from, but he's got to work at it.
Absolutely not. We have seen it done before, and now we'll go into the final round, round 3, which we're going to bring up a different wheel, this one with only 6 categories. You're going to get a 2, 3, and 5-pointer. The categories from which these questions will come will be determined by this new wheel. You'll have 1 respin to use throughout the entirety of round 3, so make sure you use it wisely. Jake, you've been here before. Thomas, you've not played this round before. Any questions before we hop into it?
Nope, let's do it.
Perfect. Okay, so Thomas.
And just a reminder for you, Thomas, a category is eligible multiple times as long as it is a different point value.
Yep.
You can spin the same category every time if you're lucky enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. So with that, Thomas, your 2-point spin, we're going to have to go to you until you take the lead. Your 2-point spin is in. And
Probably should have told me on
lands-
categories,
Oh, sorry, my bad. You're right. Oh, I'm doing really bad today. This one's sponsored by Acuity Insurance. This round, we got Star Trek, MCU, Worlds of DC, Directors, Composers, Mixed Bag, and Star Wars. And your 2-point spin landed on Mixed Bag.
Yeah, let's keep it.
Okay. Since I read to Thomas in
Yep, I
round
got you.
2, if you will read to him now.
You got it.
Thomas,
All right.
let me know if you want to bring Brooklyn in at all, by the way, because I can't see him right now.
Okay.
All right. So for 2 points, in the category mixed bag, besides just the name Spock, name one other iteration of the name that is used to describe Leonard Nimoy's character in the rebooted Star Trek trilogy.
Five, 4, 3, 2,
Humi?
1. That is unfortunately incorrect.
We're looking for Mr. Spock, Ambassador Spock, or Spock Prime. We're looking for Leonard Nimoy's, not Zachary Quinto.
Oh.
And we did say Leonard Nimoy in the question.
Oh my gosh. I should have repeated.
That's right, no worries, man. You still
All
got
right.
8 points possible. Definitely still enough to take the lead from Jake here. So we're going to pull the wheel back up and have you go for your 3-point spin.
I do remember you still have all 3 of your repeats and your challenge left.
Your 3-point spin is in, Thomas. And it is Worlds of DC.
Can I bring Brooklyn for this? Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Yeah.
I think that 5 points is too crucial at this point. I would probably just keep Worlds of DC and then
Yeah,
have that just in case, like the 5-pointers like mixed bag or something.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll keep Worlds of DC.
Okay. That means RJ, you are up.
Yep, I got it. All right.
Perfect.
All right. In Worlds of DC for 3 points, where does Jor-El hide the Codex data after he steals it at the start of Man of Steel?
He hides it inside Kal-El.
That's correct for 3 points.
Absolutely. Inside
We also would have
Kal-El,
accepted his DNA, but you said inside Kal-El, which is acceptable.
Absolutely. So that brings.
So this is where we sit. Thomas is still 1 point behind, so he has to answer his 5-pointer. If he hits it, it will go to Jake. Jake will have to answer a couple questions in order to win. If he misses, Jake Maringoni will win via TKO and will take the 16th seat in the tournament.
All right. So, Thomas, your 5-point spin is in. To send it back to Jake, you landed on directors, composers.
I will use my 1 respin on this one.
Okay.
Doesn't want to discuss.
All right. Going to use your respin.
I think for everyone besides Jake and Jeremy, that's not even a question when that lands.
That means you will be answering a 5-pointer from the category of Star Wars.
Ooh. All right.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Thomas, for 5 points to stay in the game. To cover up the Death Star, what does the Empire say destroyed Jeddah City in Rogue One?
A mining accident.
Up to you, Robert.
That is correct for 5 points.
There you go.
That is correct.
We had
That was the
disaster,
exact
but
same thing.
he's the question writer, so I just always want to make sure with you, Robert.
Absolutely. Yep, we can accept that.
All right,
So-
so Thomas is in the game, but he's done for the night.
Thomas has done everything he can. Now it is solely up to Jake. Jake needs to hit a couple questions here.
What's
He,
the
needs to
score?
hit, he actually needs to hit at least 2.
Well, no,
needs
if
to
he
hit
hits,
at least
if he
2
hits
of
his
these
5, he's fine. It is currently
points. Well,
20
that's
to
true.
16.
He needs 5 points.
Okay.
He needs 5
It's
points.
20 to 16. Yep.
Yeah.
You need 5 points total in order to
To
win
win.
the game.
Oh.
Pressure is on now for Jake. Thomas has done everything he can. Jake, your 2-point spin is in. And it lands on Star Wars.
Yeah, I got to keep that respin for the 5 point. I'll take it.
Okay. I'll read your 2-point question in the category of Star Wars. And it is as follows. How many Star Wars films has Christopher Lee contributed to?
Two.
That is incorrect. We're looking for 3. Episode 2, 3, and the Clone Wars movie.
Oh, yes.
He did actually
I-
voice-
Was he? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep, he actually did voice Dooku.
And that was theatrically released.
Clone Wars always stubs people. Holy crap.
No worries. All right. You're now, no matter what, you will have to hit your 5
Now I
pointer
have
to win
to
the
hit the
game.
5.
Yes, now no matter what.
All right. Your 3-point spin then lands on the category of Worlds of DC,
Yeah, I'll take it.
which was already used. So you can't
Yeah, the
start.
3-pointer Worlds of
So
DC was already.
again.
Nope, no, I just remembered that as well.
Respin.
But Star Wars. Lots of Star Wars.
Yeah,
All right.
it doesn't really matter. But
All
win.
right. Your 3-point Star Wars question. Who does Luke call out to first while hanging beneath Cloud City in The Empire Strikes Back?
Obi-Wan.
That is correct for 3 points.
Great.
Pulls within 1. Pulls within 1. So it's currently 19 to 20. Jake, if you hit this question.
I hate these situations. Okay.
Jake, if you hit this question, you win the game and proceed into the tournament. If you miss, Thomas will do that. Your 5-point spin lands on Star Trek.
I'm going to spin away. It's just, yeah.
Oh, man.
Could have seen that one coming.
Yep.
And lands on Mixed Bag.
All right. This is it.
Yeah. Mixed Bag. Your 5-point question in the category of Mixed Bag. Here we go. In Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, who plays Detective Bob, a role played by Michael Madsen in the first movie?
This is what
5, 4, 3,
Repeat.
2. All right, that is your second repeat, I believe.
Yes.
All right, your question again. In Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, who plays Detective Bob, a role played by Michael Madsen in the first movie? Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
Using your final repeat. In Sin City: A Dame to Kill For, who plays Detective Bob, a role played by Michael Madsen in the first movie? Give me an answer in 5, 4, 3, 2.
How's Booth?
And your winner, moving on to the tournament, Thomas Scully.
Yes!
The answer we were looking for was Jeremy Piven. Jeremy Piven. Wow, that was a extremely tense game.
That was a hell of a match.
That was for two players, one who hasn't played in a long time and one who's making their debut. They made a statement. I am very happy that this is our last pre-tournament match.
That could have very well been a tournament match.
Yeah. Oh, that was extremely close the entire way. I have some thoughts, but I want to hear from the players first. Let's hear it from Jake first here. Jake, man, that maybe it was that 2-pointer, maybe it was that 5-pointer, but how do you feel after that? You have nothing to, as I say, hang your head about, because that round 2 was impressive, man. That round 2 was impressive.
This is easily, of the 3 matches I played, this is my best performance. I went into this like, Thomas is good. If I get a good category in round 2, then maybe I could win the match. That was out of the question once round one finished. I didn't expect that to lead, and I didn't expect to get a steal, and I didn't expect to get a category that I would do really well at. And I thought that would at least be enough to win the match. But Thomas came back in round 3, and I'm not like upset at anything. It went kind of as I expected it when round 3 had happened. He missed his 2, hit his 3 and his 5, and at that point I was like, it's going to come down to the 5-pointer, and I don't know if I could get it. But no, I'm not really that disappointed. I played well, and I'm just I look forward to seeing what Thomas does. That being said, I probably would have if I had won, then going up against another 1 seed that definitely would have been daunting. But I thought if I lost this match, then I probably would have to put the retirement flag up and get out of Full Metal Geek, because 0-3 is not going to get me anywhere now. But no, this is a good time, and I played what I could.
Yeah, man. Much love to you, brother. You had a rough go just in that last round. Just didn't hit where you needed to. But we'll have you test again next year. And that record, people have come back from worse records in the fan league, so you don't need to worry about it too much, man. But yeah, you definitely showed that you're still here for a reason. You tested in to get into this match for a reason, and you definitely displayed that you definitely have knowledge. You deserve to be in this league. So thank you so much for coming out tonight, man.
Thank you.
And over to our winner today, Thomas, and his manager, Brooklyn. Thomas, that was a close one, man. You really hit where you needed to, and Jake missed where you needed him to in that last round. But how do you feel about your performance today?
Overall, I'm okay with how I play. Like the first round, the Ilea question, I knew that. I confused that with the scene where Spock, launches himself into the cloud or whatever, but that and then a couple others I let go by. And directors and composers, though, I thought I actually handled that extremely well. I mean, that's a category that is very difficult, but I think I handled that well. And when I saw Jake fly through marble, I'm like, this is gonna be a dogfight. And then again, the 2-pointer in Star Trek. Star Trek has been that pain in my side for months now. So got to definitely work on that. Got some other holes in my game I got to patch up, but I'm just glad that Star Wars question was a little on the easier side for my 5, and he got a Sin City and didn't kill for. So I'm still in shock. So
absolutely. And Brooklyn, you must have some thoughts about how your your
Yeah,
prospect played today.
absolutely. So we knew that if Drax Composers came up, that we had to know our shit, because Jake Maringoni is sort of like that guy that knows all of that. So I know myself in any study session that we've had, I tried to cram Drax Composers so that we would run in this situation. I think with the exception of like just some bad luck in round 2, he played okay, but I definitely think that there's always room to improve. And I think with the tournament coming up, that we'll definitely need to do that, and especially just focus on opponents' strengths in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And you definitely maneuvered around that category exactly how you need to. Only giving up a 1-point steal in Jake's biggest strength, that definitely held him off there for a little bit. And yeah, you hit where you needed to. So the last thing I got to ask is thoughts about going into the tournament 1-0. You are the 16 seed, and your first round match will be against the 4-1 Jay Burns. How do you feel about prepping going into that match?
2 things. First of all, number one, this will be the second time I've had to face the number 1 seed in a tournament. I had to go against Dom over there in multiplex. Didn't have the result I wanted, but hey, maybe this will be a different result. Second of all, have a little beef with Jay Burns, because maybe if you saw in his last multiplex team match, he called out me and Boatman, said we weren't shit, said we didn't know our stuff. So Jay Burns, you got a little something extra coming at you. I may be the 16 seed, but you better study up, man, because if I knock you on your ass, it's gonna hurt.
Jay Burns is a beast. Let's make that perfectly clear. But the man's beatable. There's definitely some holes in this game that we can expose. It'll be fun, but it's going to be a war.
Absolutely, would expect nothing less. So now we'll just hop right on back to me and RJ to close out. Thank you very much, Thomas. Great match, and we look forward to seeing you in that tournament. All right, RJ, I really think this one came down to hitting where you needed to and missing where you needed to hit in that last round. I think that's what this one came down to.
Oh, 100%. Honestly, though, as a spectator, when he spun Star Wars, I knew he was going to hit that 5. It was one of the first categories he mentioned when he talked about liking Geek. Usually, the first one that comes out of your mouth is usually probably your actual strength without even thinking about it. So as soon as he spun Star Wars, I had no doubt that kid was going to hit it. And then, Jake, as Jake always has the unfortunate when he lost to me, when he lost to Jeremy, the wheel was just not on his side. He could not get the categories he needed to make up that deficit that he needed, because he was in a position where he could have hit the 2 and 3 and still won, but he slipped up a little bit. Like Thomas said, Clone Wars is always the one you forget. You always forget that movie existed, and definitely a lot of people forget that Christopher Lee was one of the few actors that was like, I'll go voice my cartoon self. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. But with this, Thomas is going to go forward to face Jay. I think that is going to be a hell of a match. I'm very much looking forward to it. But
dude, if I'm Jay, I'm shaking in my boots right now watching this match. I'm sorry, no offense, Jay, but if I'm you, I'm shaking in my boots right now, and I'm still shaking in my boots because he's on my side of the bracket. You don't have to play in this freaking tournament. You just got to wait till we're all done with each other. I'm on that side of the bracket. No matter how good I do, I got to go up against one of them. Screw you, Robert, and your
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for watching. Look out for this is going up on Friday the 30th. Probably, hopefully. So look out for later next week. That's the first week of August, somewhere midweek. RJ and I, or one of us, are going to do a bracket breakdown video live in the Facebook group. That's the Full Metal Media Facebook group. We're going to break down the bracket, give our picks, do our bracket predictions, do all that fun stuff. And then starting next Friday, by the time you're seeing this, the Friday after this video drops, we have round 1 already starting. So we're going to be trouncing, that's not the right word. We're going to be pounding through this tournament for the rest of the year. We're really excited for it, and we hope you are along for the ride. So for both RJ, for myself, from everybody here at Full Metal Media, thank you all for watching. Do all that stuff you're supposed to do at the end of a YouTube video, and we'll see you next week.